Hey guys, what is up? I am back with part 2 of our Stargate PvP build order guide. In part 1 we talked about Phoenix vs Phoenix, and this guide today will talk about opening Oracle against Twilight. So, when that first hallucination scout goes in, we see that he's gone Twilight and not Stargate. We immediately start up that Oracle. I'm going to show you how I play that out. So let's just jump right in. Now, Stargate is so powerful, and especially against a defensive blink play, or a defensive DT play, something like this, you're going to find ways to just get so far ahead, because Oracles have so much versatility in the matchup, and when combined with a cool little adept trick that I'll show you in this video, you guys are going to start collecting those free ladder points, trust me. So, the game is going to start out just the exact same way as last time. I'm going to go over the build order just a tiny bit more. Obviously it's 14 pylons, 16 gate, 17 gas, 18 gas, and then 19 or 20 gateway, doesn't really matter. One thing I will note actually, I scout the low ground just to see if a cannon rushing probe is coming. And this is after my second gas is being built. I send that probe to the low ground, and at that very time, if a probe is coming up, I know I'm being cannon rushed. Because you don't send a probe that early if you're not being cannon rushed. So I start my second gate on 20 supply, put guys in gas, 2 in each for the moment, and I rally the rest in, add a core and then go scout. So this is the basic setup. Once again, I'm going to be looking to see what our opponent opens with, what are his first 2 units. I can't remember what Pili Pili does in this game, so it'll be a surprise for both me and you. This is of course the first time I'm looking at this replay since I played it, and I've been playing a whole bunch of StarCraft recently. Either way, we open Stalker Sentry. What am I looking at? Looking for the other side of the map? His 3 pylons. So what have we seen? We see 1, we see 2. This probe most likely is going to be going down to the natural and building a 3rd pylon, which it does. And then we see Sentry, so we know he's gone Stalker Sentry as well. So in this case, it's all about sending your Stalker Sentry across the map as quickly as you can, so that our hallucination will be there in time. Your hallucination getting quicker, you'll see, plays a vital role in this game when you go up against Twilight, and the reason is, my Stargate is going to finish, right, before my hallucination gets there, even when I sent it across the map very quickly. So I'm actually going to start up a Phoenix, but then immediately cancel it and go Oracle. If the hallucination comes quicker, you don't want the Phoenix, so make sure you don't chrono boost the Stargate, so you can cancel it and go for the Oracle. So great. I also then saw, okay, he's gone, well, he has 3 gateway units, 1 more producing, that'll be a 3rd Stalker. I'm going to go back home, add a shield battery, add 2 Stalkers of my own, add a robo, and 2 oracles. In this case, I think I play really greedy, and I don't build the 3rd and 4th Stalker. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. It's up to you, whatever you feel most comfortable with. But as soon as my warp gate is done, I build 2 adepts. And what these are going to do, they're going to go across the map and they're going to link up with our 2 oracles and get a whole bunch of kills. Now in this game, I send my first oracle in, just try and get, 1 or 2 probe kills possibly. But he's set up nicely. If I microed better, I would have got that one. But as you can see, I don't get any damage done with this, so you might be thinking, man, this is really bad, surely. My second oracle is done, it's going across the map. I'm shading my adepts across as well. Behind this, my robo is about to finish, and I've been producing probes this entire time. We want to start an immortal immediately, and this robo is complete. So then we have this really nice, cool, cute little play, whatever you want to call it, where we link up our oracle and these adepts, slow it down a bit. So I'm going to shade in to the natural. Here we go. I'm adding a forge at home at the same time as well. You want to transition into that macro play. Anyway, so what I do is I send my adepts in, and I want to send them to this lower part of this mineral line. If we just take a look, he has stalkers in the mineral line. He needs to pull them down to the bottom, right? He needs to pull them down this way to defend the adepts. And because of that, we can link up with our oracle from the top. And with some good shift queuing, get a whole bunch of workers. And how much did we get in this game? We got 10 workers this game. That's insane. We're just so far ahead now. He's stuck on 30. You know, back home, we have a fully saturated natural. Our immortal's almost done. So if you see your opponent going Twilight, this is what you want to do. Now, unfortunately, because of how I run my oracles, I do lose one of them. Ideally, you lose none of them. Try not to lose them, because then you send your oracles back at home and you build stasis wards. I can't remember if I do that in this game, but send it back home, build stasis wards so you don't die to the counter blink all in. And I think I will place it. There we go. Now then, what is our transition after this? I add a few gateways. I'm going to add a Twilight in just a second as well. And I continue up my immortal production. I've now gone and added a third gas. I thought maybe he would come and attack me, so I wanted to delay my fourth gas, but you could have grabbed that a bit earlier as well. And now I'm going to just go back in and scout around. Now let's look at the state of this game. We have killed so many workers with that move, and trust me. Just trust me, guys. The reason Twilight is weak against oracles and Stargate is because of that move. Linking up with the adepts, it's so hard to deal with it. And some people are like, well, you just put everything in the natural. I don't even need to send my oracles into the natural though. I could have sent them back around here and into the main, you know, hitting two places at once. There's so much variation that the Stargate play can do that you're always going to get ahead. But let's look at the state of the game. He has 7 Stalkers and a Sentry. He's not fully saturated, and he's starting a third base. Sure, he has a third base on the way, but I have 2 Immortals, a third one almost done, and I'm about to power up to 8 gateways. This is the transition you want to make in PvP when you're ahead. Okay, in all my games that I get an economic advantage, this is the build that I do. I'm going to go up to 8 gateways on 2 bases, add charge, add Templar archives, build a warp prism, and go across the map and win. Okay, you just have such an economic advantage that they cannot hold it if you play it properly. Now you will see me add a third Nexus, but I won't build any probes for it. Okay, you don't need to build any. Your main will run out, it'll become a bit dry, so you'll transfer from there. As you can see, I produced a warp prism. Now I'm just going to go across the map. You might be saying to yourself, oh, Pili has a worker advantage. But because we killed 10 workers, he's had to build 10 workers that we killed, plus the 10 that he's above us now. He just doesn't have the army. If we look, his gateways have now just finished, right? He doesn't have any immortals. He does have a couple of archons, that's nice. But he's just so far behind that if we just keep macroing, hitting our warp-in cycles, we're going to find this an easy game. And you're just going to see, I'm just going to roll over Pili in this case. So here we go. Pull the zealots back just slightly. And just warp in more zealots, and off we go. He just does not have enough units because of the economic damage we dealt. And that is because of the versatility that our Stargate opening provided. So I highly recommend you trying Oracle versus Twilight and doing that little adept move that I did. It's just so powerful that you'll get so many wins with it, probably straight up in the lower leagues if you execute it correctly. Because at GM, it is unstoppable. And anything below that, if you execute it properly, you're going to get so many wins. So Pili taps out in this game. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This was part 2 of our PvP series. The next video will be about defending aggression and defending 3-gate robo, 3-gate stalker with phoenix pushes, that kind of stuff. I also have a 4th video. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but it's not a phoenix versus phoenix game. It's going to be Oracle versus Phoenix. I'm not going to tell you anything more than that. Just get excited for that. It's a really cool style. People have been doing it. It's fresh, exciting, and new. So hit that subscribe button, turn those alerts on, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, tell me what you thought, tell me how this goes for you on the ladder, tell me if it worked for you. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day and a lovely Protoss session with this build on the ladder. Thanks guys.